So throughout this course, or since the beginning of this course, we have been using various data sets, and these data sets are actually inbuilt into some packages. So we haven't actually imported our own data. So in this section, I'm going to be showing you functions which you can use to import data, especially structured data. I'm going to be dealing with how you can import structured data such as CSV or Excel files, and also the packages you can use in importing data. One thing I need you to know is that ever since the development of the tidyverse, then there is this new data format called tibbles. So let me just show you an example now. This is the popular iris data set. So when I run it, you can see what we have here. But when I now run something like, let me load the ggplot2, or let me just say ggplot2. Let me load the diamonds data set. So you can see a table here. So when you look at this iris data set, you can see we just have description. Then when you look at this, you will see a table. Also the same thing too, when you check the dplyr flights, let me just see NYC flights 13, which we talked about. When I say flights, you see it is also a table. So what are these tables? Well, these tables are a new data format that was developed with the tidyverse. So any data that the tidyverse works with, or any data sets that that comes with the tidyverse are in table format. And a table format is a much more better format than your regular data frames that you are using. So it's just an improvement on the regular data frames that we have already been used to in base R. I'm also going to be comparing the previous way of importing data using base R, and also I can also use the tidyverse way of importing a data, so that you can now see the differences between a table and also your regular data frames. But just know that throughout these courses we have been working with tables, and also it's good for you to be converting your data to tables. You can convert a data to table using the asTable function. So when you use asTable, the asTable function is going to coerce. This is going to coerce your data into what? A table. So now in the next section, I'm going to show you how you can import a data using the readr package. So the data set I'm going to be using in this lecture is fertility rate of women in Nigeria for various years. So throughout previous years, the fertility rate that was recorded for women. So the fertility rate of women in that particular year has been recorded for various years previously. So we're going to be importing that data. That is what we're going to be using. So first of all, now I'm going to use the regular way of importing data, which is read.csv. So you go to your files pane. When you go to your files pane, you click on these three dots, go to directory. So this data is going to be available in this lecture resources, so you can check there and download this data. So you go to desktop. This is where I actually kept my data. It depends on where you also keep your data after downloading it. So I'm now going to open this particular folder called desktop. When I open it, you can see the files I have on my desktop. Then the particular file we're interested in is fertility rate. So this is fertility rate.csv. So you click on fertility rate and import dataset. Click on import dataset. So if you use this way of importing your dataset, it's going to use the readr package for importing your dataset using the tidyverse format. So it is going to convert your dataset into a table. So let's just copy this and just copy this code. So I'll click on copy. I'll right click and click on copy. It is going to copy this for me because I need this file path. Then cancel. You can now come here and paste it. So when I highlight it, you can see that my data has already been imported. So now let me view my data. I've already saved it as fertility rate. So this is the data. So you can now see that this data has been converted to a table. So this is the way you can import a data using the readr package in the tidyverse. So this readr package is a package for importing different type of data formats, but other data formats is beyond the scope of this course. So I'm just going to be importing CSV and also Excel, which I'll be talking about in the next lecture. So this is how you can import a data using the readr package. You can see we have 61 columns and 61 rows and 2 columns. So you can also see that it has already told us that the 2 columns that we also have, they are doubles. So we have year and we also have the fertility rate. So now let's import using the regular base R read.csv. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to paste it here. So I'm just going to call this fertility. I'm just going to call it fertility rate. Then I'm going to remove this underscore and turn it to dots. So in the readr package, I'm going to be using read_csv. That is how you can import it. While the base R use read.csv. So by using this read.csv, it's not going to convert my data into a table. So by the time I want to view my data now, you can see that my data is not converted into a table. Not much difference, but if you notice under the fertility rate, you can see that the way it named my column, because there was a space If you notice, there was a spacing in the way I named this fertility rate right from the main data, that is the CSV file. There was a space, fertility, then rate. So by importing it, it's going to put a dot. But if you now look at the one that was imported using the readr package, it gave a spacing, and it also gave the two columns as doubles. While in this scenario, it was giving it was giving the year as an integer and the fertility.rate as double. So in summary, the table is just an improvement over the data frame. So this data frame you are seeing is just two columns, which is double and double. There are some cases where I already saved a data as a factor in another, that is maybe in another program. By importing it using table formatting, that's by using the readr package. If you import it, you are going to also have your columns as factor. But when you use the read.csv, you're not going to have it as factor, you just see you're having it as characters. So those are the improvements that the tibbles have over the base R way of importing datasets. So this is the tibble way, use read_csv, while this is the base R read.csv. So in this lecture, I'm going to show how you can read an Excel file. So someone might give you a data which is not actually CSV. So stressing to go and convert it to CSV, you can just read that file or import that file directly as an Excel file and make use of it in R. So I want you to download the data is available in the resource of this lecture. Then you can see this is my directory. You know how to open the directory. Just click on these three dots and go to the folder where you actually kept the data. I'm going to open it. This is my desktop. Then I'm now going to go and look for the data, which is sales data.xlsx. So this is the Excel data. You can see it is saved as Excel format, xlsx. So I'm going to click on this data. By clicking on this data, I'm now going to use import dataset. So in this lecture, let me explain to you this window. This is like another way of importing your data instead of writing the codes. By following this method, you go to your file, you click on your data and import it. You can actually do a lot of things in this place. So you can see this our data in Excel format. This data is for a company that sells motorcycle parts. You can see the dates, you can see the warehouse, the client type, product, like you can see other stuff. Perform a data cleaning in this place. Like now, I can convert this double to a date. You can see in this window, I can convert it to a date. If you want to change the data type of a particular variable, so just click on the drop down arrow, select the particular data type you want, and you can change it. So then you can also see the names of the data. You can actually change these names. So let's say I don't want to import it as sales data. I want to import it as motorcycle sales. You can say motorcycle sales instead of importing as sales. I can decide to import it as motorcycle sales. So it's now going to tell me also the sheet. I can select the sheets because this is an Excel workbook. So if I'm dealing with 4 sheets in the Excel workbook, from this place I can select the sheets. But in this situation, I'm having only 1 sheet in this Excel workbook. So now you can also explore that we did for the read CSV. It is not as advanced as this. You can explore that we did for the read CSV. But what if you don't want to use this? You can just type in this code because it does also give you the code which you can use to import your data. So you can see it. Let me just say Control A, then Control C. I'm going to copy it. So this is the code that I can use to import it if I don't want to import it using this format. So I'm going to cancel. I'm going to paste the code here. So this is the readxl library. In the previous lecture, we used the readr library for importing CSVs. In this situation, we're going to be using the readxl because we're importing an Excel workbook. So now this is the code that I showed you previously. Now how you can import it using the manual method. You just, after editing what you want to edit, you just click on the import and it will import it for you. Why this is the code, but the code is usually advisable for reproducibility. You want others to also see how you imported to the Excel workbook. And I'm going to be using the readxl function. Then from the readxl function, you can see our file directory. We can change, which can be different from yours depending on where you actually stored this particular file you downloaded. Then these are the column types. So then we say view motorcycles. So you can see our data. So you can see we have it in date format. We have warehouse, client type, product line, quantity, units, price, total, and payment. So this is how you can import an Excel workbook. So you can either do it manually or you can write the code using the readxl. Most of the time, all this is not usually necessary. When I just enter, I have my data imported for me already. So you can see it, date. So if you actually stored it as a date in Excel, because this is a tidyverse package, if you actually save this as a date format, then Excel is going to give it to you as a date format. So if I'm to say head motorcycle, you can see it was actually saved as a date format. So for CT, it was saved as a date format in Excel, so that's why it's returning for me as a date data type. And you can also see that this data, it has already given me the data as a table instead of a regular data frame. I can see our warehouse, client type having character, product line having character, we have quantity as double, Also, I can also see the other columns that we have. So this is just the way you can import your data in R, that is for CSV and Excel. So we have other kind of data formats such as JSON. We have JSON, we have SPSS. So these are beyond the scopes of this course. For now, if you want to import a CSV, use read_CSV, and to convert the dataset to a table. If you want to import an Excel file, use read_Excel to convert the data format. It converts the data set to a table also using the readxl.